Governor Bello Matawalle appoints new honorary advisor on security matters. Governor Bello Matawalle donates 10 million naira to fire victims. Groups commend Governor Ganduje and security agencies in Kano for absence on the list of jungle justice. On business, Dangote injects 63 billion naira to revive moribund Anamco. And on sports, Liverpool now 22 points clear on top of the EPL summit. And on the international scene, Malaysian politics have been plunged into chaos. Welcome to Standard Voice Television News. I am Musa Joy Onyoza. The Executive Governor of Zamfara State, Dr. Bello Matawalle Maradun, has approved the appointment of new Deputy Inspector General of Police, DIG Maman Ibrahim Safe, retired, as honorary advisor to the governor on security matters. The governor announced the appointment of retired DIG Maman Ibrahim Safe through the Secretary to the State Government, Alhaji Bala Bello Maru. The governor said the appointment of retired DIG Maman Ibrahim Safe was based on his track record to the service of the nation when he was the Deputy Inspector General of Police and the support and contribution he rendered to the State Peace and Reconciliation Committee in restoring peace and tranquility in all parts of the state. As security expert, the new honorary advisor to the governor of Zamfara State on security matters, retired DIG Maman Ibrahim Safe, was born in Safe Town, the headquarters of Safe local government area, in February 1957. He attended Safe Township Primary School and Government Secondary School, Gusau, and Advanced Teachers College, Sokoto. The new honorary advisor also attended Usman Dan Fodio University, Sokoto, and Police Staff College, Jos. DIG Maman Ibrahim Safe, retired, served as the Commissioner of Police in Sokoto, Kano, and Delta State. He was appointed as the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 11, Lagos, and later Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of Logistics and Supply, where he retired from the force. Retired DIG Maman Ibrahim Safe was a member of Zamfara State Peace and Reconciliation. Governor Bello Muhammad Matawalle Maradun has donated a sum of 10 million naira on behalf of the state government to victims of fire disaster at the Nkatako market in Gusau town. Commiserating with the victims, Governor Matawalle urged them to consider the disaster as an act of God and prayed that the incident serve as an avenue to more openings for their business. He said God Almighty knows why this had to happen to the victims and urged them to consider it as a test from the Creator, as well as pray that it serve as an opening to better things for them to come. Expressing their delight to the governor, chairman of the Market Association, Malam Ibrahim, thanked the governor for his kindness and urged him to continue with the good work and promised that they will always support his administration. The Speaker of Zamfara State House of Assembly, Alhaji Nasiru Mazu Makaria, led a powerful state government delegation to the ancient town of Kaura Namoda to condole with them over the death of their prominent people of the area. The delegation was received on arrival by the council chairman, Alhaji Lawa Isa Abdullahi, and went straight to the palace of the Emir, Alhaji Mohammed Ahmed Asha, who was represented by the Sarikin Sudan, Alhaji Nasru Omar Marafa. Speaker Magaria condoles with the Emir on behalf of the governor. On behalf of Governor Bello Matawalle Maradun over the sudden demise of Chief Imam of 2nd Jemaat Mosque, Sheikh Suleiman Namalam Baban Kaura. He also prayed for the repose of his soul and described the death of the Islamic scholar as a monumental loss. Responding on behalf of the Emir, the senior district head of Kaura, Sarikin Sudan, Alhaji Nasru Umar Marafa expressed the gratitude and appreciation of the palace for the condolence at the second Jumat mosque in Kaura, Namoda, where the chief imam has been leading prayer for decades. The state chief lawmaker expressed state government shock and sadness over the death of the erudite imam. While condoling with the families of the deceased speaker, Nasiru prayed Allah to grant late Chief Imam Al-Jannah Fidausi and gave the family members and by extension people of Kawa Namoda the courage to bear the irreparable loss. He also announced the state government donation of 1 million naira and 10 bags of rice to the family of the deceased. Responding on behalf of the family members, the leader of Tijaniya sect in Kaura Namoda, Khalifa Sheikh Atiku Meisuna Kaura, expressed profound gratitude and appreciation to Governor Bello Matawale Maradu and the delegation for the consumption to the sect in Kaura Namoda. Khalifa Malam Atiku Meisuna pledged their unalloyed support and solidarity to the state government under the leadership of Governor Bello Matawale Maradu. The delegation, according to the public relations officer of the assembly, Mustafa Jafar Kaura, said similar condolence visit was also paid to Alkali Ibrahim Gandhi Ubandoman Kaura over the death of his younger brother, late Abdullahi Abubakar Alkali, who died in a Kaduna hospital recently. Speaker Magaria made a stopover in Kaswa Daji, where he sympathized with Sarikin father Kaswa Daji, whose one of his sons had a ghastly motor accident. The speaker's delegation comprised the House Chief Whip Alhaji Zaradin M. Sadar, Alhaji Mohammed G. Ahmed, and Alhaji Salihu Usman Zurumi. Others are Alhaji Anna Sarikin father, Alhaji Kabiru Magaji Kwatarkwashi, Commissioner Budget and Economic Planning Alhaji Ibrahim Jibo Magayaki Kaura, and some directors of the Assembly. Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje of Kano State and all the security agencies in the state have been commended for not being one of the state captured by Daily Trust newspaper's investigation published in the paper's edition of Monday, February 24, 2020, where issue of jungle justice either becomes rampant or feasible. In a letter sent to the governor by Peaceful Society Initiative signed by the National Secretary Edward Michael, shows that because of the importance attached to the security of life and properties by all the security agencies in Kano State, coupled with the unflinching support given to them by the state governor, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, peaceful atmosphere has come to stay in Kano State. The group says they were not surprised to see that Kano was part of the very few states where jungle justice was either too insignificant to spot or non-existent, according to Daily Trust investigation. Encouraging that the absence of jungle justice in Kano is not unconnected with the harmonious working relationship that exists between all the security agencies in the state, on one hand, and the synergy between host communities with all the security apparatus on the other hand. They also refer to the Daily Trust investigation, which was published on the aforementioned date, which disclosed that according to the group's letter, that there is no fewer than 105 people who became victims of jungle justice in at least 25 out of the 36 states of the Federation between January to December 2019. The Daily Trust further reveals that newspaper reports revealed by Daily Trust indicate that out of the 105 victims, 73 were killed by mob actions, 31 others sustained various degrees of injuries from incidences of severe beatings. In Kano State, as appreciated by the letter sent to the governor, the state government is doing everything possible to make sure that misunderstanding between people in whatever form are minimized to the barest minimum. This is done irrespective of difference in religious ethnicity, tribe, or political inclination. While Governor Ganduje is up and doing in making sure that the concept of community policing thrives, he also at the same time makes it a cardinal point in his administration to make sure that the rivalry among security agencies is cleared away without any let or hindrance. In conclusion, the group urged other states to take a lead from Kano State, especially in areas of amplifying community policing, interfaith dialogues, developing good synergy between security agencies to avoid rivalry that could befall on civilians to become victims of circumstances, and to pray harder with good intentions. A group of stakeholders of the All Progressives Congress (APC) in Edo State has given the Director General of the Progressives Governors Forum, Salihu Lukman, a 7-day ultimatum to withdraw what it called an offensive and malicious statement and be prepared to face legal action. The group issued the threat in a statement jointly signed by Chief Francis Inebeneki and Alhaji Suleiman Bagudu in Abuja on Monday. According to the stakeholders, the memo by the PGFDG accusing the national chairman of the APC, Adams Oshomole, of being the problem of the party was not only an insult but offensive. While dismissing the context of the memo as arrant nonsense, the group explained that the DG ceased to be the DG of the Progressives Governors Forum the day he allegedly decided to market himself to those who were afraid of the ongoing reforms in the APC. The groups explained that for so long they have kept quiet to his tantrums against the APC national chairman, thinking that himself and his co-travelers, including Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki, would turn a new leaf, but they have persisted in their evil plot against Comrade Adams Oshomole. If this memo is not full of mischief and motivated by a compromised conscience that was not out to promote reconciliation, he should not have sent it to the press before making it available to the committee members. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the constitution of a National Humanitarian Coordination Committee to oversee all humanitarian actions in the country. The committee will, among others, provide a national vision for humanitarian actions, advice on coordination between the security services and humanitarian actors, settle disputes that may arise from interactions between security services and the humanitarian community. Other functions include propose policies that enhance coordination and seamless delivery of humanitarian aid to affected communities, facilitate delivery of humanitarian interventions to vulnerable persons, and promote transparency and accountability in all aspects of humanitarian delivery in the country. The NHCC will be chaired by the Minister, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, and National Security Advisor as co-chairman. Other members are Chairman, Nigerian Governors Forum, Ministers of Defense, Interior, Justice, Minister of State, Budget and Planning, Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, Chief of Air Staff, Inspector General of Police, Governors of Borno, Adamawa, Yobe State, Commandant General, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Controller General, Nigerian Customs Service, United Nations Resident Coordinator, Permanent Secretary, Chairman, Non-Governmental Organization Forum, and any other nominated by Chairman of the committee. We'll be right back after this short commercial break. Stay tuned. Welcome back on Business. Jemima Samuel has more detail.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Thank you and welcome to Business Desk. Dangote Group has signed an agreement with Automaker Transit Support Service Limited for the supply of Shackman trucks being assembled at Anambra Motor Manufacturing Companies Limited (AMCO) factory in Emini, Enugu. This comes shortly after the group injected about 63 billion naira for the purchase of 3,500 units of trucks aimed at reviving the AMCO plant. The disclosure was made by the chairman of Transit Support Service Limited, Frank Ineji, during a tour of the auto plant. The auto plant had been dormant for many years until Dangote Group signed an agreement for the production of Shackman trucks. The production of the vehicles led to the recall of all AMCO staffs, which for years has not been doing anything as the company went moribund. The agreement has reportedly benefited the people in the area immensely through job creation and training of young school leavers. According to Energy, the revival of the auto plant and the investments of Dangote have not only benefited the company but has also returned the pride of the southeast economy, which the AMCO auto plant represents. He said about 90% of trucks produced here are for Dangote, and right now at the dump, they have about 300 units. Since last year, they have done 800 units. Dangote Group, since inception, has brought about 3,500 units. It also patronizes the Shackman trucks for its refinery currently being built in Lagos. Mr. Energy added that the project had also kept busy on Onne Port, which was dormant for many years. He explained that the port is used for delivery of vehicle components supplied to AMCO company plants by its partners from China, Shazi Heavy Duty Automobile Import and Export Company. Also speaking was the General Manager, Corporate Communications of Dangote Group, Mr. Sunday Isen, who made it known that the quality of Shackman trucks was satisfactory as he assured Neji of continuous patronage. He said Dangote Group is expanding. Apart from cement, sugar and salt factories, among others, they are starting a petroleum refinery, the biggest in Africa. All this will require a higher number of trucks, which will entail a long-term relationship. And that's all we have on Business Desk today. I am Jemima Samuel.
And on sports, Sufyan Abubakar has more detail.
Hello, welcome to Standard Voice Television Sports Room. I am Svtv Abubakar, and as usual, I bring the sports updates. Liverpool FC defeat West Ham United on Monday night to retain their position on the top of the log, and as a result are still 22 points above the second place team Manchester City. Jorginho Wijnaldum scored the opener for Liverpool in 30 minutes, but few minutes later, West Ham Issa Diop equalized for West Ham United. Minutes into the second half, West Ham United went in front through a goal by the substitute Fornals, and with 30 minutes left to the final whistle, Mohamed Salah equalized for Liverpool after a mistake by West Ham United skipper Fabianski. And with 30 minutes left on the clock, Liverpool's Sadio Mane scored the winning goal for Liverpool after receiving an assist from Trent Alexander-Arnold, who has now 14 league assists for Liverpool this season. And that's all we have on sports. Back to the newsroom.
And on the international scene,
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
it seems to be the main lesson from 3 days of political chaos in Malaysia as the 94-year-old Mahathir Mohamad managed to resign both the premiership and leadership of his party, but kept both jobs and have accusations of betrayal turned into pledges of loyalty and support from all sides of the parliamentary divide. Appointed interim prime minister by the king following his resignation, Mahathir is likely to form a new government within a few days, though negotiations could continue through the week and the country could still be on track for a snap election at some point in the near future. Malaysia's Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad waves after he was granted an audience with King Sultan Abdullah Sultan Ahmed Shah at the National Palace in Kuala Lumpur on Monday, February 24, 2020, after loud rumblings of internal turmoil. The ruling Pakatan Harapan coalition abruptly collapsed on Monday amid accusations several high-profile members led by Mahathir were negotiating with the United Malays National Organization to form a new government. UNO was Malaysia's traditional party of government, fielding all the country's post-independence leaders onto the IMDb financial scandal and subsequent unpopularity of Prime Minister Najib Razak saw it stuffed out of office by the PH coalition in 2018. The coalition was led by Mahathir, a one-time UMNO leader and prime minister who joined the opposition in order to bring down Najib, who he regarded as massively corrupt. Najib is currently on trial over numerous charges relating to the IMDb scandal, which he denies. While some members of the PH were suspicious of Mahathir's motivation, his star power and ability to appeal to traditional UMNO supporters undeniably helped in their ultimate victory. He subsequently became prime minister under an agreement that he would eventually hand over power to fellow PH leader Anwar Ibrahim. Anwar was once the older man's heir apparent until he was fired by the then Prime Minister Mahathir in 1998 and charged with corruption and sodomy. That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headline. Governor Bello Matawalle appoints new honorary advisor on security matters. Governor Bello Matawalle donates 10 million naira to fire victims. Group commends Governor Ganduje and security agencies in Kano for absence on the list of jungle justice. On business, Dangote injects 63 billion naira to revive Moribond and Amco. On sports, Liverpool now 22 points clear on top of the EPL summit. And on the international scene, Malaysian politics has been plunged into chaos. That's the news on behalf of the editorial crew and the head of News and Current Affairs Department, Alhaji Ibrahim Garobatunau. I still remain Musa Joy Onyoga. Stay tuned.